So the example on page number 125, we're going to look at example number 6.6 for the quantitative purpose statement. So it says the purpose of the study was to examine, so here is your word there, the relationship between, so there you have another word, personal characteristics and job motivation. So remember, we go from left to right. So personal characteristics would be my independent variable and the job satisfaction, the dependent variable. So I want to see how the dependent variable or how job motivation depends on the personal characteristics of certified educators who taught in a selected state adult correctional institution in the United States. So here is my site, plus it tells me that they are certified educators. So it is also talking about the research participants. They are adults and research participants. And then it goes about giving us the personal characteristics are divided into, so within that variable, what are my levels that I'm looking at. And then it also gives why the examination was important to the study. So here you are also getting an answer as to why you are doing this study, the intent of this study. And then it gives you the variables and the questionnaire that was used. So it is a very good purpose statement for a quantitative research study. The same way a mixed methods research study, as you guys already know by now, is qualitative and quantitative together, which is informed together, and they are different types of mixed methods research study. You have, once again, it begins with the overall, it contains the overall intent, and it begins with the words such as the purpose of or the intent. And it incorporates the strands of both quantitative and qualitative. It also indicates the type of mixed methods research you are doing and the reasons for combining those. So if you look at an example on page number 129, now 127 and 28 provides you samples, scripts that you can use, but let's look at a convergent mixed methods purpose statement. A convergent mixed methods, as you know, is both parallel and both quantitative and qualitative research study together inform the results. So here it says this study provided an explicit socio-ecological view examining the interrelation of possible causative factors and integrated summary of these factors. So you already know as to what is the purpose of that study. And then it is also talking about is you are looking at the database from, so the database is your quantitative with perspectives of stakeholders. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm trying to tell you all as to how it is combining the quantitative and the qualitative together. You have more examples of exploratory and explanatory research, mixed methods research studies. If you have any questions, please let me know. I do not have a problem uploading further videos or explanation that is needed. Best of luck, guys. Hi, y'all. This is your video for Chapter 6, the Creswell book. The Chapter 6 in the Creswell book actually sets the stage or provides a framework for a purpose statement. A purpose statement is a very important statement of a research study because it sets forth the intent of the study as to why you want to do the study and what you want to accomplish. It conveys the overall intent of your proposed study in a sentence or in a paragraph. It is given the importance of the purpose statement, it is always good to have like a separate few sentences or a paragraph about the purpose of the study. The purpose of the study is different, slightly different for qualitative and quantitative study, and which is we are going along with mixed method, which is we are going to talk about. So in a qualitative study, the purpose statement gives the central phenomena that is explored in the study, the participants and the research site. So do you see how all the information is included in it? It also conveys an emerging design and uses words like the qualitative words that you've been talking about, that simply like words like the purpose of the study is so and so, or the study aims to. And so there is clear indication as to what is the purpose of the study. Uh, Creswell books also provides you an example of the purpose statement, which is on page number 119. It was a very good statement for you guys to look at. One of the things is to use action verbs such as understand, develop, explore, examine. So I would say the purpose of the study is to explore the elementary students' understanding of fraction through the use of whatever you want to say. Or if you want to say something like uh, the study aims to discover the impact. We can't use the word impact. The study aims to discover the relationship between. And so that is another way you can talk about the study. Focus on a single phenomena and narrow the study. You cannot talk about just elementary students understanding. You have to talk about what is the area within it that you are exploring. So let's look at neutral words. You're going to be looking at neutral words and phrases. Like, for example, exploring self-expression experience of individuals rather than successful. So you are making very neutral words. You're not giving positive, negative, or any of those words. So keep it very neutral. General definition: include words that explain the strategy of inquiry. Mentions the participants, identify the site. So at a local school district or a school district in North Texas, all those things are some of the ways you can talk about. Like if you are comparing an urban and a rural area, so you need to make sure you're talking about those things. Don't provide real names, but the site that is there. Once again, page 119 provides you with a format for the purpose statement. So let's move on. And I also forgot, page number 120 and 121 of the Creswell books gives you several examples that you can use to talk about it. So here it talks about the purpose of this study was to explore effective social and educational factors. So it's already identifying three variables. Effective social and education factors may have contributed to the development. So look here, action word is the development of reading disabilities and for adolescents. So it's already identifies the number of participants is 4. The study also sought explanation as to why students' reading disability persisted despite years of instruction. And so it provides you all those things. The 6.3, again, if you say, is addressing the needs of gay and bisexual students. So it gives you the participants. And then in improving the campus climate. So it is actually providing you that it is on a campus climate. And then it talks about the type of the study, 2-year ethnographic study. So all those things, please look at these examples while you are doing your own qualitative, if it is qualitative. Now let's look at quantitative. One of the big difference from qualitative and quantitative is in the term of language and focus on relating or comparing the variables. So it includes the variables in the study and their relationship, the participants and the research site. So that is one of the big differences between those things. It also includes language associated with quantitative research. So when you look at the research questions and other introduction, you would have seen that there is language, there's certain difference in language, and that is what. It begins by identifying the proposed major variables in a study. So that is another thing. So words to signal the major intent. Once again, you have the purpose or the objective or the intent of the study. So then you talk about the theory, model, or the conceptual framework of it. And so when you are talking about so the purpose of a quantitative research study, the independent and the dependent variables, as well as the mediating or the moderating variables, should be very clear. By now, I am hoping the independent and dependent variables are clear to you guys, especially after our discussion on the Zoom. You also have words like the relationship between or comparison and things like that. Remember that you are positioning the variables from left to right and the purpose statement with the independent variable followed by the dependent variable. There is a specific strategy of inquiry, and you can see it in the survey and the experimental research. I would highly recommend to read this chapter in detail, depending on which type of study you are doing, and so that you can form a good purpose statement. So let us look at an example of it.